Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today is another Get Ready With Me. Today we are talking wedding things. I know a bunch of you wanted wedding content, so today we're talking all about my engagement party that I had, as well as some upcoming wedding planning things that I could use your help, use your advice on. So I'm going to tell you where I'm at with all that and kind of my next steps and get ready with you for the day. So if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you've not already, I would love it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. I upload twice a week. It's totally free to subscribe and I would really like to have you back on the channel again. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right guys, so as always with my Get Ready With Me's, if you're interested in any of the products that I'm using, I will leave them listed down in the description box below. So first of all, how are you guys? What's going on? It's been a minute since I filmed. Most of the videos I've posted lately I had pre-filmed before I went to Europe. I think I've filmed one video so far since then, so I feel like I'm just getting back in the swing of things. And even then, for what, you know, because I'm pre-filming again actually right now for I'm going to Florida here in the US to visit some family for a week. So here we go again with the pre-filming life. But I wanted to update you all and give you kind of some info because a lot of you, when I did my Get Ready With Me about getting engaged, I'll leave that in the cards if you want to hear about that and haven't seen it yet. A lot of you said, we want wedding planning content. Like, we want updates, give us the tea. So here I am to give you some updates, some plans, things we've been doing for Wesley and I getting married. So we actually just had last Saturday our engagement party. So a lot of the vendors' backstory that we've been talking to related to our actual wedding have been telling us that like, we can book with them and everything, but they're still rescheduling a lot of the weddings that were supposed to happen when things were shut down for COVID. So we can book, but they're booking like a year and a half out at this point. So it will still be quite some time until our actual wedding day. We decided to have our engagement party now for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're just excited about the fact that we're engaged now. You know, we've actually been engaged now for 7 months already. I know that seems like a long time to like just be doing an engagement party for some of you maybe, but this is gonna be a longer engagement and we're fine with that. It just makes sense for us. We've been dating for over 5 years, so we're not really in a hurry at this point. We already live together and own a home together. And financially it just makes kind of sense, you know? It gives you time to save and really plan for what you want. But we wanted to celebrate in some way now, so an engagement party for that reason, and for the reason that I have, you know, grandparents and people that I wanted to invite that some of them are getting up in age, and we just wanted to make sure we get to do some kind of event to celebrate where all of my grandparents that I have remaining, I have 3 of the 4 of my grandparents, very fortunate in that, were able to attend and be part of it, and they were, so that was really great. So it took me about 3 months to plan this engagement party. I wanted to do a theme just for fun. We actually had it at my parents' house, used their backyard, so we didn't have to pay for a venue, save a little money, and I don't know, I've just never done like a themed party, and I want the wedding to be more elegant, upscale, so I thought it could be something like casual and fun for the engagement party. So I actually did kind of like a luau tiki theme, which ended up really fun. Like, I was kind of worried it would be a little juvenile. I'm 30, almost 31 for those of you that might not know. But at the end of the day, and what people keep telling me is, you know what? Try not to think about what other people think about it. Like, do what you want to do. It's for you. So I've really tried to run with that sentiment. So we just rented like a tent and tables and chairs and had things delivered to my parents' backyard and did kind of like a luau moment. So if nothing else, this engagement party has taught me, which I already knew to some degree, but it gave me a little bit of the feeling and experience of the stress of planning a wedding, because there were just some things that didn't go the way I was planning, like the place that I finally decided to get the tent from that had the best prices and availability. They had the tent and the tables, but no chairs available. So like finding a separate place just for chairs. And mind you, the engagement party, we just invited like immediate family, like parents, siblings, and I did grandparents and the people that were in the wedding party. That was literally it. So we had like, I don't know, maybe like 20 people there or something like that. It was small, but it still was a little stressful to plan and expensive even for 20 people. By the time we paid for the tent, the table, the chairs, I did end up having someone else do all the food that we just picked it up and the decorations. And of course I wanted to, as is I feel kind of traditional, get gifts for all of my bridesmaids and my bridesman. So like I said, we just had this party last Saturday. Once it was all planned, it went off without a hitch. Everything was fine. The tent got delivered, the tables got delivered. My dad actually went and picked up the chairs for me because, you guys, for 25 chairs, this company wanted to charge me like $100 or $105 for delivery. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So just be careful with stuff like that. And like, there were a couple of annoying things. I had already paid for the tent and the tables from that rental company, and kind of last minute, like the week leading up to the party, they contacted me and were like, oh yeah, well guys, gas prices have gone up, so we're gonna have to charge you another surcharge for the fuel, even though you already paid in full. Which on one hand, I'm like, I get it, prices for gas are astronomical right now, but how about you start that with like new customers? Like I had booked and paid over a month ago and they just now last minute decided to tack on more to the end, which I was like, I don't know. I felt like that wasn't okay. Like you should say like starting on this date, our prices will increase, not retroactively go back and rebill even more to your already paid customers. Be curious, what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. So it wasn't like an astronomical amount, but it was still annoying. I don't, does that make sense? Or am I being like, you know, Bridezilla-ish? Let me know. The food that we got, we actually, so like grocery prices are really astronomical right now too. So even like meat is super expensive here in the US right now. So we were not going to be able to cook the same meal that we had made for us, like catered for us, for the price that they were charging. Like I actually thought it was a decent price for the food. So since it was a luau, we did get like brisket and barbecue and pork, cornbread, a whole bunch of sides. We had coleslaw, potato salad, mac and cheese, green beans, baked beans. And I really, truly don't think we could have done it for the price that they gave to us. So really nice of that company. It was like $10 or $11 per person, I think, portion-wise. And I really also wanted to go with the place we went. If you live in my area, you know where I live. We went through a restaurant called Old 30. And we actually specifically went through that restaurant not only because we like their food, but because that's actually the restaurant. That's the place Wesley and I first met in person and had our first date. So we thought, how fitting would that be to have them do the food for the engagement party? You know, when it's like luau tiki themed, I feel like pork and barbecue and that kind of stuff is thematic with that stuff. So that was really nice. The food was amazing. We actually had some people not come that we were expecting, which I feel like always happens. It happened to my brother and my sister-in-law at their wedding as well. So we were left with quite a bit of leftover food, but you know, meat freezes, it's fine. We weren't mad about it. And all the decorations and everything I just got from like Hobby Lobby. I think I went to like Walmart, Target, places like that to get like little grass skirts for the table. I'll give you guys a little picture of an insert of like the little centerpieces that my sister-in-law helped me to DIY. I tried to keep it like simple so it wasn't ridiculously expensive. It still was kind of expensive in my opinion for 20 people, but I get it. That's the name of the game in the wedding industry these days. But I still wanted to be enough that it was like thematic, you know, like themed drinks and everything. So we did all that. And yeah, it went really well, you guys. I did have a little disappointment because someone in my wedding party didn't make it. Someone that, I mean, I called all these people months in advance and was like, I really want you to be there. I want you to be part of the wedding party. I want you to be at this event. And they're all like, great, yeah, this date works for me. And then like a few days before the event, one of the people in my wedding party texted me and was like, I'll do my best to make it. And I was like, really? Again, you guys let me know if I'm being petty for being annoyed or disappointed by that, but I felt like I had reached out in advance and made it clear that I wanted them all to be there for pictures and to do the whole, you know how people do like promposal, HOCO. It's almost like that whole situation where you like ask them to be in your party officially and present them with some gifts, things like that. So I wanted them all to be there for that. And then this one person didn't show, and they didn't even message me the day of. Later they messaged me and were like, oh, sorry, this is why I wasn't there. But I just felt like the whole thing was very flaky and unusual because this is a friend I've had for like 10 years. Sorry if you can hear Garfield crying. I shut the door and he's crying because he wants to be with me. Maybe I'll open the door if he keeps going here and crying. But I was just disappointed because I feel like that friend's not normally flaky. Obviously, we've been friends for a decade and they weren't there. They didn't show, and it was really disappointing. Like I said, especially because I felt like on my behalf, I had done a lot of work to make sure everybody was there. So I don't know. Tell me, has anything happened to you like that below in the comments? Would you be disappointed? Do I need to just get over myself? Like, I'm still planning on having the person be in the wedding party and everything, and they were like, oh, let me know when you get back from Florida visiting your family, we'll catch up. But I just feel like it was really crummy of them to do that to me, and I don't even know if they realize that I'm like, hurt isn't the right word, but just like frustrated by the situation, I guess is the way I would put it. That's the drama of the engagement party. But no, like I said, everything went off great. It was actually the first time that Wesley and Mai's parents ever met, right? We've been dating, like I said, for over 5 years now, and our parents have never met. It's not like we intentionally tried to keep them from meeting, but they just live like 2.5 hours away from each other, so there's no reason they would cross paths unless they intentionally crossed paths. And yeah, we just didn't set up ever when we were dating like a meeting. Like, of course, I met his family years ago, he met my family years ago. Our parents just hadn't met. So my parents and his parents finally met, and our siblings met. So his sister and his new nephew was just born a couple months ago, and my sibling, like, they all met. So that was really, really nice, and I was really glad that happened because it honestly was like, literally, it's about time. You know what I mean? Our parents are very different, so both of us were a little nervous about how that was gonna go because they're just very different people, different ideals. But you know what? So are Wesley and I. We are not politically the same. We have a lot of different beliefs. We're very mature about it for the most part. I'm not gonna say we've never gotten into arguments about it, but for the most part, we're very good about either like, look, if we're gonna fight about it, don't talk about it, or okay, we can talk about this, but we can be mature and have a conversation about it and like agree to disagree type thing without name calling or getting the way some people seem to get in this day and age when they have differing opinions. And everything was fine. I don't feel like they really talked to each other that much, our parents. Like, they said hello, they did the introductions, but that was about it. They were kind of keeping their distance. I think they were trying to like feel it out as well with each other. So obviously they'll be together again at the wedding itself whenever that happens. So guys, I did want to mention before I go in with eyeshadow, today I am using the Saints, Angels, Sinners eyeshadow palette. This is the Swim Team palette. The inside looks just like the outside. And this is for sale in their shop now. I've had a really good experience with this brand so far. I will leave linked the couple videos that I've done using the Follow Your Dreams palette from them. And let me give you a better angle of these swatches. Here is the palette. swatch out. It's just a little 6-pan, but I really like the color story. These shimmers are everything, and the mattes have been really blendable so far. So I'd really encourage you, if you're interested, to check this brand out. They are on Instagram, Saints, Angels, Sinners, and they have an Etsy shop you can order from. But I'm telling you, it's not like some other brands. Ooh, I've been thinking about doing a video, guys, to spill some tea about a brand. It's not like some brands where you order and you like never hear from them again. They take your money, but you haven't gotten your order. I've been waiting almost an entire year on an order I made from another brand. So I'm frustrated with that situation and close to spilling the tea on that because I'm just frustrated with the whole situation. This brand is not like that. Their shipping is very good. Their communication is very transparent. I've made now two orders from them, gotten 3 different shipments from them. Never had any issues. Darcy has been so wonderful, the owner behind it, with communication and conversation. So I really recommend this brand if you want to try something that I feel like is a good price point for the fact that you get some really shifty, shimmery, cool shades in here. Like, I really am looking forward to using in this palette the shade Flip Turn, which, I mean, it's Swim Team is the name of the palette, Flip Turn, but also it's like a purple to a green with kind of like a dark brown base. I don't have anything like it in my collection, so I'm very excited. So many months of planning and many hundreds of dollars later, the engagement party is over. It is complete. So now onward moves, the rest of the wedding planning. So it's like I said, been 7 months, and it's like, come on, people, let's get your butts in gear here. Like, I think I've mentioned to you guys, my mom and I have gone to a couple of different, and Wesley went with me to some bridal shows just to kind of meet with some vendors, see what's in the area, that kind of thing. And let me tell you, the shade that is thrown at me because I don't have a date is not appreciated. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced anything like this. Let me know in the comments down below. But the first thing people ask is like, oh, what's your date? And of course I have to be like, oh, we don't have one yet. Like, trying to do price comparison of venues, I feel like that's kind of normal to want to explore your options before you commit to something. And the very next thing, I swear, and my mom has said she's seen it too when she's gone with me, the very next thing they do is look at your hand to see, like, does this girl even have a ring? Is she serious? And I know somebody that personally is involved in this business, and they're like, oh yeah, if somebody doesn't have a date, we basically just don't take them seriously. 'Cause I guess there are people that just like aren't engaged and are like living their fantasy and just like for fun going to these things, and the vendors don't want to waste their time and be jerked around, which I guess I get it if that happens. But a lot of times just their reaction, like, I get that might happen to you, but it's such a turn off when I'm like, oh, we're still planning, and they're like, well, here's our prices, and they just act so shady towards you then, like you're making it up and you're not even engaged or something. And I'm like, okay, I don't appreciate that attitude. I don't really want to work with you if you're gonna act like that. That is something I did not expect whatsoever when I was going into this. So it's been hard to plan just because, like I said, we don't have a date in a venue, and a lot of these vendors want that information. Well, and I get it, you need it to schedule, flowers, DJ, photos, all of that. You need a date, you need a venue. So Wesley, I told him, like, by the end of this summer, like when I go back to school, we will, sorry, wasn't expecting that. That was Flip Turn. Holy moly. I'm applying it with the finger, no glitter, glue, or primer, and she is sparkly. Ooh, I like that a lot. Okay, where was I? My entire soul just left my body, so I don't really know. Oh yeah, so I told Wesley, I was like, look, we gotta like start this a little bit. We gotta at least have a venue and a date by the end of summer so that I can start looking at these other things and making decisions, because I can't really do anything else till we have at least those pieces. He was like, yeah, I totally agree. But we haven't really been trying to procrastinate or anything. There's nothing like falling through or not happening. Like, we're good. It's literally just been a scheduling thing of like having time to go look at venues, because I literally had 2 days after school was out and graduation happened and all that, which the choir performs at, before I left for Europe. And I got back, my foot's been hurt, going to the doctor, going to Florida, like, I kind of feel like I'm making excuses in a way, because obviously, like, you can do some of this online, and I have narrowed down my list. So when I get back from Florida, Wesley and I have about 3 weeks before my, like, show choir and band camp start that we will be looking at venues in person and making some decisions, people. And yeah, as far as the date is concerned, I know some people have like a special or sentimental date that they want to go by. We really don't. We kind of decided whatever venue that we fall in love with, because the way I hear a lot of people say, like, oh, when you find the one, you will know. So we're kind of hoping that happens, and then whatever their availability is, that's probably going to determine our date. Now, I will say both of us have outright said we don't want to get married in the winter. It's too cold. My brother got married in November. Now, that's no shade to my brother. Like, that was a rescheduled COVID wedding. They did what they had to do. But we are not trying to do that. And I've also told him, like, not that I really like summer. It's hot. Like, especially right now. Today it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. In June, we haven't even gotten to July and August, which are usually hotter here in Ohio. But for fall and spring, like, I'm in school, and I just don't like the idea of like going to work all week and then just casually getting married on the weekend. Like, I feel like in summertime set aside, and I can enjoy that time leading up to and after it. So I don't know if we'll end up doing summer. Obviously, teachers get usually like a few personal days that I could make it a long weekend or something to do spring or fall. So it might work out that way. I really just don't know. We get married in summer also. We could do our honeymoon probably right away that summer, right after we get married. But if it's in the fall or spring, we would probably wait till the following summer just so I'm out of school. Because Wesley can request with his job his vacation whenever and put in. I don't have a choice of when my vacation is, right? It's like set to the school year. I have some places in mind for our honeymoon as well, but I don't know if Wesley's down for it. We haven't talked a lot about that. We just haven't talked a lot about the wedding stuff in general, just because, like, we have been talking a lot about the engagement party. So again, I don't feel like we're not trying to actively put it off or anything. It's just kind of how it's gone lately. So long story short, engagement party was a success. Very happy with how that went. And we're gonna get our acts together, and we are gonna have a venue and a date by the end of summer, people. I'm looking for a venue that has both outdoor and inside options. So I really want to get married outside, and I wanted my engagement party outside too, and it was really nice. We had amazing, great weather. It didn't rain. It wasn't too hot. It's a little windy, breezy, but like, I can deal with that. I don't know. I just really like outdoors. We're not going to get married at a church, but I also want someplace that has an indoor place nearby or on the same campus. Number one, as like a plan B backup weather location. And number two, because it would be nice if there's like one place I'm looking, for example, there's like an outdoor courtyard that you can get married in, but then there is like tables in a place right there in a building on the same location that you can then go inside and have like your dinner and reception without your wedding party having to move locations or worry about new parking their cars, anything like that. So I kind of like the idea of like, once you're there, you're there. You might have to walk from A to B, but you don't actually change sites, if that makes sense. But what I'm finding is that a lot of places, you can't just rent the site by itself. Like, they charge you like, do you just want the courtyard? It's this price. Do you just want the building inside? It's this price. If you want both, you have to pay separately for both, and it's more, which is kind of annoying to me. Like, I get it. I understand. It's a business. They have money to make, but at the same time, it's like, y'all are ripping people off. You know what I mean? Like, It's just crazy. I get it why people are like, no, just go elope. It'll be cheaper. Just go to the courthouse. I get it. And Wesley and I are very different on this topic. Like, I'm very much a person of like, I'll pay money for the experience. Those are memories I will have for a lifetime. You know, I'll put money into travel, into experiences. Wesley is very like, I don't want to spend money on a one and done experience. I'd rather have my money go into something tangible that I physically have and keep and use over and over again. But even though he doesn't feel the same way as me, he has also said like, even if that's my philosophy on life, I will bend that for this occasion because like that's what you want. So that's very nice of him. Obviously he doesn't have to do that. I know people think it's all about the bride, but truly it's not. It's his wedding too. It's his money too. So I don't know that he realizes how much I appreciate that. I've told him, but you know, I recognize that I'm very lucky to have him as a partner. Ooh, I turned my air off earlier because it was cool downstairs, but I'm upstairs in my filming room and I am starting to sweat, y'all. So yeah, guys, that is all that I have for this video. I would love to hear any of your comments, suggestions, advice on the topics down in the comments below. And I hope to see you back again on the next one. Bye!